Get in line for the dopest girl show. The essence will be holding us down. Get in line, women running the world. Wednesday 6:30, let's have a good time. Get in line, free your mind. Let the music help you celebrate life. Get sexy. Get in line, keep it real. Get empowered and inspired to feel.
What's up, guys? It's your girl, The Essence. I'm here on the The Essence Show each and every Wednesday at 9 p.m. So please be tuned in. We're welcoming July once again. I hope everybody's summer has been going well and your evening has been good to you. It's been kind of humid this month. I think summer has finally kicked in, but now I'm like, hace calor all the time. I'm just always hot. I just wish I was on an island every day, but I'm stuck at work. But I got to get this money like everybody else that's watching. So we just got to make it through, but enjoy your time off, be with your loved ones, and enjoy the sun. I'm trying to get more sun. But anyway, we're right here on the The Essence Show. We got two guests with me today, two Latinos that are known as authors and much, much more. And I want to get started as soon as possible. First, I do want to say I hope everybody had a safe, spectacular 4th of July. And it's also Cancer and Leo month, so King of the Jungle is out there. And my emotional cancers, it's okay. We still love you. We love emotions, don't we, on this show? Also, it is July, but June was a great month. We had a lot of festivals and Latino love. We had a lot of parades. We even just recently had the Pride Parade, which was very colorful and very, I don't know, it was just crazy out there. I was in the city and it was just very colorful. And I know someone that was in the parade, and we'll talk about that a little later on in the show. But first, I would like to introduce the author, female Latina from the Bronx, born and raised. Ended up going to DR for some time and then coming right back. Her list of resumes is crazy. First of all, she is the author of this book, Parenting from Broken Pieces. It comes in Spanish and English, so there's no excuses not to get it. Also, she is a graduate from John Jay. She has a master's degree as well. We also went into some type of government work, but we're not here to talk about that. We're here to talk about her job as an author and some panel work that she's working on and maybe a possible film. We don't know. But I would like to introduce to the Essence the first time, Isabel Rojas Lopez. Did I say your name right?
Yes, you did.
All right. Because some people say Lopez differently, like Lopez.
Lopez. You got it.
All right. Welcome.
Thank you for having me.
Yes,
I'm so happy to
how
be
are
here with you. I am good. I am good, getting ready for this heat in the summer.
It's hot in here right now. We were talking about the humidity, and it's just really hot. How are we handling that as Latinos?
Come out of here with our hair and a little afro and a little bit, but we're all right. We're going to be all right.
It sucks because I had longer hair, and I was able to just kind of put it up in a bun, and now I'm like, oh, my God.
Oh, yeah, same here. Same here. I cut mine, and it's like, oh, my God, what was I thinking? I should have just left it curly.
Yes, it's like a little bit more maintenance to cut it shorter, right?
Oh,
you can't just throw it up in a bun and call it a day.
And then you get the little
poof?
The little poof going, especially in this heat.
Tell me about it.
In this heat.
So what's going on? You have a lot on your plate.
Yes.
And I'm excited to speak with you. We've met about, not last summer, the summer before, at a Misfit Mingle, right?
It was a pop-up shop event, yes.
Yes, and you were there.
I was there with my boutique.
Tabling there.
Yep.
And you were doing Children Boutique?
Yep, Ari Bella Children's Boutique.
I loved it. You had lyrics from hip hop, didn't you?
Yes, on the t-shirts.
For
yes,
the
remember
babies.
the onesies?
Yes, I love them.
Onesies, yes.
I love them. I should have had you bring some to show.
I should have, yeah.
But it was a lot of fun, and I actually won something that they were doing a raffle, and it was from your table. It was like a little purse that had like a saying on it. I forgot what it said at this moment.
Hello, beautiful.
Yes, or gorgeous or something like that.
It was red.
I love it.
For your business
I
cards.
still have it.
Good,
I use it for
I'm
money
glad.
and stuff like that instead.
I'm glad you still have it.
Yeah,
And
I do.
that was our first encounter.
And then we started following each other.
Yes.
And then I had to put it together that you were the one that was actually writing the book.
Yes.
You know, because Instagram, you go on with different names. And you're like, oh, I think I met her. Yeah, I did meet her. Okay. So anyway, I did read half of the book. But now I have a live copy, which me personally, I like to go through the pages and smell stuff.
Same
You know what I mean? And I also get an autograph before you leave.
Absolutely.
So let's talk about this book for a second. What's going on? Talk about it a little bit.
So Parenting from Broken Pieces, I published a book back in October of 2018. Oh my God, we're already going to be 2020.
We're
Can you believe
7
that?
months in.
Wow.
Can you believe
No,
that?
I can't. It was so foreign.
2019 is almost
It's so
gone,
hard to say
people.
2020. It's so different. So I wrote the book. 2020, you imagine what's going to come now, the new inventions and everything else, but we can have a conversation.
I can't even believe we got through this far.
I know.
It seems so far when he first got elected, and now it's like getting re-elected. Hopefully not him, though. Okay.
So I wrote the book. I had a lot of conversations with women. We talked about, being a mom and just coming from brokenness, and how do you not repeat those patterns?
Yep.
And a lot of folks, I was surprised, women that you would never think that have had trauma. I've experienced trauma growing up. I have a 12-year-old now. I am a bonus mom. I have an older daughter and sons, but I have my daughter who's going to be a teen. That'd be another book for that one because that's a whole nother chapter.
Yeah.
But just even talking to some of my friends that, as women, we are so judgmental when we become moms. So we start to point the finger of, you're not raising your kids right, or you should be doing this. And I think that we create a separation when we should be creating a sisterhood.
Definitely.
Because parenting, there's no blueprint that comes with it, right? And to add layers of it, when you come from brokenness, it even adds an additional layer of responsibilities and things that you have to get through. So in writing the book, I was in a space where I had some traumatic stuff going on in my family last summer that were really tough. And it just took me to a place of writing. And a light bulb went off. You're looking constantly on social media. And this is, for some reason, someone said today to me, July is the month where people start to really start looking at other people's lives. We portray what we want on social media, especially moms.
Okay.
We're putting, the vacations and things like that. And of course, we all enjoying ourselves, right? However, there's some folks that probably couldn't afford that vacation, right? Or can't do the things that we're doing with our children. So it creates a lot of anxiety for some moms. And a lot of times, as moms, I found myself doing the same thing. You're scrolling through social media, the matching bathing suits and everything else. And am I doing it right? And why am I not doing this? And you start to question yourself. So I had to get out of that space because I knew that I was doing the best that I can from where I came from. Which, just to give you a little background, when I was 6 years old, our parents, back then I come from Dominican descent, our grandmother, my parents worked, my mother worked a factory, they sent us to live in DR with my grandmother. While living in DR, my grandmother was trying to do the best that she can. Now she had my sister, my brother, and I, plus my cousins. Now she had all these children under her home. We lived a modest, we were comfortable. However, we had this gentleman that worked for my grandmother. And I want to kind of say, he kind of groomed us to where the abuse started to build up. Here's someone who, I'm going to get emotional.
That's okay.
I'll try not to.
That's okay.
Someone that your family trusts, that my father loved, and, sending him money, sending him clothes, being thankful without knowing what was really going on behind closed doors. And being 8 years old, not having a voice, being sexually abused, and having an adult that your family loves tell you if you say something, your grandparents are going to come up missing, your brothers and your sisters, So I wanted to protect them.
Threats made.
Lots of threats. And, some kids say we go to bed hungry at night. I went to bed hungry and yearning for protection at that age.
Wow.
And that followed me. No one in my family knew about it until this book came out. So that created a lot of issues. Lots of issues.
Yeah.
But it was my truth.
Is it something that you, not regret, but it's something you think you should have held back on putting in the book?
You know what?
Or this was your way of having a voice?
This was my voice. I didn't have a voice for a long time. And I've come across in the previous work that I've done, even the work that I do now, even folks, friends, family that have experienced trauma. And I wanted to make sure that if I can help one person get through it and see, hey, you're going to go through these battles, because it's something that I always preach. I'm all about positivity.
Right.
I'm all about, we all go through trials and tribulations in life and how you overcome that. And I wanted people to know that you could experience that. You can go through that, but that doesn't have to be the end of your story.
How long did that go on for? And when did it stop, or how did it stop?
It stopped because my parents had sent for us to come back to the United States, and that's when it stopped. I came back to the United States when I was about 9.
So how many years was that you were in DR?
I was in
going through
DR
this?
for about 3.5, 4 years.
And it started right away?
It took about, I want to say, sometimes you put things off in your memory,
Of
but it took
course.
about 6 to, I want to say, a year to get groomed in that sense.
And you
For
were
him.
you were the only one, or
Yeah,
You
I
were.
want to make sure that, I had other people that said that happened to me, but it's not my story to tell, and
Right,
I
of
don't want to
course.
make anyone feel as if I am telling their story. But I was the only one at that time,
Mm-hmm.
and then things followed that I'm now that the book is out, I was made
Mm-hmm.
aware of. So it was like a relief for
Mm.
some, like, thank you for saying something that has been bothering me for so many years.
and where is he now?
He's still in DR. I don't have any contact with him yet. Neither does my family. I don't have any family back in DR. My grandmother's living here now. My grandfather passed away.
Oh, wow.
So pretty much everybody's here. I haven't gone back.
And nobody's ever
years.
confronted him?
Not that I know of. I'm hope not.
You should send him that book.
You know what I said when I
Someone to
wrote
get
the
in
book?
line.
You're right. In Spanish, right? Because
Yeah.
he can't speak English.
Yep.
But my thing is, I forgave him.
You have to
I had
move
to
on.
forgive him for me to move on, and it took me a lot of years. It took me a lot of trials and mistakes. The only thing that has left me with is I'm a lot more aware with my daughter. I don't trust no one.
Oh, you cannot trust.
one.
I mean,
And-
it can be like the closest person to you, your grandfather, your uncle,
And
godparents.
you hear stories like that all the
neighbors.
time.
Yeah.
They left me, and this one touched me inappropriately, and and you think it's a game. And listen, I was a police officer for 10 years, and I came across a lot of those stories.
Yeah.
And a lot of times, you become so desensitized that you don't believe the kids. And
I heard that's like the number one is that and domestic violence.
Domestic violence.
Yeah.
Domestic violence and sexual abuse, and those things broke my heart. And back then, answering those calls, it's like I didn't, I knew, kind of brought back some memories,
Yeah.
but you're not supposed to put wear your heart on your sleeves when you're doing
Definitely.
that kind of work.
Is
So
that the reason why you went to John Jay to become a cop? Because
I
of
wanted to
this?
become a lawyer.
Interesting.
I wanted to become a lawyer I wanted to become a lawyer, and I got sidetracked with
Okay.
law enforcement. I didn't believe in myself, thinking that I couldn't complete it. So that was a lot of things that you doubt, things that
Yeah.
you make mistakes because you're carrying all this weight. And in the book, like I talk about releasing your your 8-year-old self. Like I wrote a letter to my 8-year-old self and saying to that 8-year-old self, it's okay.
Yeah.
You carry that. I was watching a live today, and it was this young lady that I follow on social media, and they were ironically talking about that, her 15-year-old self, and the mistakes that she made, and the things that happened in her past. And I was just like, I commented and said, write a letter and release it. Burn it, release it with love. That's what you can do
Right.
in order for you to move on. And last year when I wrote the book and I set my daughter down to tell her what this was about, that was a little hard, having that conversation with her.
It's a huge step to
Yes.
let it out and have your family members. I mean, thank God he wasn't a family member. Would you have still done it? Because a lot of family members a lot of people don't want to tell their story because it's a family member, and that means by telling your story, you're hurting other people involved. Like, let's say it's your grandfather, you have to hurt your mom because that's her dad, or vice versa. So, did you feel like that was a little easier?
But you know what? It was a little easier, but you come across a lot of people like that.
Yeah.
Grandpa and I said, it's your truth. And if that truth is going to set you free, you
Yeah.
got to do it.
Yeah.
You have to do it for yourself. Because
Right.
at this point, we don't want to be selfish, but you have to do it for yourself, for your children, because you're carrying all that baggage. It's so ironic. Just this past Sunday, I sat down with my uncle. I've had a tumultuous relationship with my mom, and a lot of people thought I was bashing my mom in the book, and it wasn't about that. And even she was upset. And I said, Mom, this is to help other mothers that come from stuff that they can't understand why they're parenting this way, right? Why is it that I don't have these tools, or I'm repeating, history is repeating itself. So I sat down with my uncle, and he gave me a crash lesson on what my mother went through as a child. And you can't even begin to imagine what that did to my soul, because I finally understood my mother. Because I think that as parents, when you grow up back in the days,
Yeah.
you kind of stop growing emotionally.
Yeah, they become like really numb, right? Which makes them kind of blindsided in some sort of sense.
And then you feel in turns as a child like they don't even care about me,
Yeah.
or they stop growing emotionally.
Yeah.
And that carries on with us, and I don't want that to happen with my daughter. I don't want that to repeat itself.
Right. You also don't want to bring into a marriage and a relationship. The person you're with now, did he know about this before the book was actually?
Yes, when
So
I met
you-
him, yeah, he knew about it.
Okay.
He was very supportive.
Good.
Yeah, him and I had conversations. Because when you experience trauma and you bring all that baggage to your relationships.
Yes.
You do.
Yeah.
You really do, and it takes a strong person to deal with you. So that man has the patience of I don't know what.
Yeah.
Love him for it.
Yeah, no, definitely. Did you ever realize that there was some defense with men because of this experience? Did you ever have bad experiences in dating before you met him? Falling in love, trusting?
Trust issues, big time.
Yeah.
Big time trust issues, because you have somebody, right, that's supposed to take care of you, right? And just some of the things that went on, it's a lot of trust issues, a lot of layers to what had happened.
And then sometimes it goes into sexual relationships with people, right? Mm-hmm. So either you become promiscuous or you don't want to even engage or do certain things because you feel the guilt.
It kind of triggers certain things. And when, as a woman, and it's, so many women say that, and I can relate to that. Like something triggers it, and you're like, nope, not doing that.
Yeah,
you know,
definitely.
and I'm not trying to make fun of it in light of it, but you think about certain things that you do, and I didn't understand it then. I didn't, because I was so used to hiding things. I was really good at hiding things. You could not tell me anything. Everything is fine. Everything is perfect, because that's what I was taught. We don't talk our business, right? Latino households.
Yeah.
Las cosas no se hablan en la calle.
Yeah.
So you were taught to hide it. And I did it. I was really good at it. I was really good at hiding things.
Do you still hide things now, or do you feel like you're very open now?
I feel I'm too open now.
Too open? So they went from like that
to this.
Here I am.
Because, it's ironic. Some people pick up the book.
Yeah.
And then when they see I was sexually abused by a close family friend, they're like, some people are uncomfortable. It's happened to me. I've done pop-up shops, and they've come to my table, and they're like, oh. And I'm like, no, it's okay. That happened. And they're looking at me like, oh, this girl.
I mean, if you're going to write about it, you have to be open with it.
You have to be comfortable with it.
That means you're ready to share your story.
You have to be comfortable. And I'm like, no, don't feel uncomfortable. If you want to, that's fine. We can talk about it. I'm all for it,
You know what's sad, too, also, that when it's not your dad and it's someone else, it's like, my dad's not even doing this. I mean, he's not supposed to,
he's
but
not
you get what I'm trying to
Yeah.
say, right? Like how someone can steal that from me.
Violate you in that
In
way.
such a way, yeah. So were you single raising a child?
So I have been with my husband for 16 years.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
How's that
Thank you.
going?
That's going good.
Good.
I give him a lot of credit, because everybody that knows me, I'm a pain in the butt, but he gets me.
Okay.
And it took I kissed a lot of frogs before.
How many? How many do we have to kiss?
I kissed a lot of frogs.
I don't know about,
and I shouldn't say that, because, every relationship is different.
Yeah.
Every relationship is different. We managed to make it work. He got me, I got him, and you make it work. Nobody's perfect, and I say that to everybody. No relationship is perfect, but it took me years, because before I'd be like, oh, nope, I don't have patience for that. Nope, I'm not doing that.
And that seems to be the main issue today, that no one has the patience. Nobody wants to invest. So everything's happening fast, and people are connecting on a sexual level, but no one wants to bring it more than that.
And you said a key word. Nobody's connecting. You are not putting in the work.
No.
And if you don't put in the work, it's like anything else, it's not going to work.
But
listen,
nobody
there's
wants to
days
put
that he
in the
doesn't
work.
like me and I don't like him.
Right.
And I'm like, you go on that side, I go on this side.
And that's
right?
fine.
But it's not, and it's fine. And you need that sometimes. You need
do.
it. And it's healthy, as long as it's not unhealthy, because you have a child.
As long as you come back together.
Absolutely. My household was, kind of traumatic, where domestic violence and things like that. And I always think about that, the way that we speak to each other. There's days that, I may yell, but you have to be very conscious of how you speak to each other. Because I always say to him, the way that you are treating me and speaking to me is what she's going to accept when she goes out into the world.
Right.
And we always tend to carry a piece of our dads. And some guys have certain things that
We
our dad,
do.
we do, because
Yeah.
I've noticed that in a lot of, like, when you think about it, I'm like, oh wait, we're looking for our dads.
Well, that's the first man that you fall in love with. Not sexually, of course, but that's your dad.
That's- yep,
That's your
absolutely.
protector. That's the one who's providing. That's the one that's loving your mom, hopefully. I mean, I always tell my dad he's the first man in my life and nobody would ever compare to him. You know what I mean?
Absolutely, yeah.
But you do want someone that resembles your dad. And sometimes it's hard nowadays to even find that.
Absolutely.
Because the men are not being raised the way maybe your dad was raised or with the same principles. So it's hard to connect.
I've always been a daddy's girl, still am. Love
Yeah,
my
me
father.
too.
I love him to death. You know, he wasn't perfect, but he tried his best.
That's all that
And he didn't
matters.
leave us. He was there. So I sympathize, and I empathize, I should say,
Yeah.
with folks that didn't have their father growing up. Because a lot of times, even having these discussions about parenting from broken pieces, I've sat at circles where certain women said, I didn't have a relationship with my father. So how can you say this to me? And I'm like, I am not coming from a place of, I am not preaching here. I'm saying what worked for me.
Right.
And how this worked for me, and I'm sharing a piece of my story because it matters. And I'm sharing a piece of 3 other women's story here that matters. And some of those women didn't have a father growing up. And they share their story of how that affected their parenting and how they had to really, really, really get it together for their kids' sake.
Yeah, it's
Because-
very important to have both parents. I've been blessed to have both parents to this day. No separation, no drama in my house, thank God. You know, they knew how to keep business, adult business. But they still loving each other, and I look up for that. You know, but you need both parents in your life. I've heard a lot of people that come from broken homes like, oh, you don't need a dad, you have your mom. No, you need that male figure there or a female figure. So I totally get that.
Especially when kids, you know, when you go to school functions,
Yeah.
and 90%, the majority sitting in that audience is a mom.
Yeah, and
You
it's
know,
a lot
and
of
that's
that
a lot.
now.
And then we don't give single dads credit. I think that
No.
we don't give them enough credit.
Yeah.
You have a lot of guys that are hands-on.
Yes.
And sometimes we, the females, are the problem when it comes to that. Because
Sometimes
we can't
it's
get
too hands-on.
too hands-on.
Like,
but,
dang, with your child every single day. Like, can I get a date?
but you know what?
But it's important.
But it's important.
Yeah.
And I think sometimes we also learn separating, right? I have some friends who are not with their spouse, and and I've listened to them. I hear them vent when the father, and now you're stepping in. There's another woman in the house, and now the father found someone else. And some women are bitter still.
an
They're hurting,
adjustment.
and rightfully so, because they still love the man. They had a child with him.
Exactly.
You're always going to love that man.
Exactly.
You're always going to love that man because you brought life together.
Exactly.
So we have to learn it. A lot of folks say co-parenting is a key, and it takes a lot. I don't know if you read that book, Blended.
No,
You have
I've
to
heard
read
of it, though.
It was a really good book. Alicia Keys' story, and Mashonda Free, she wrote it.
Okay.
Very eloquently written. And it's really important. We're angry, and she said it. She was angry at the beginning, right?
Yeah.
So I think that goes a lot to brokenness. We're angry.
Yeah,
right?
Jada Pinkett and Will Smith went through the same thing with the first baby's mother, and it's a process.
It's a
and it's a
process.
blessing because not everybody can get there. I don't even know how I would be able to handle that. You know, thank God I'm not in the situation. I know we can keep going, but time is running because you see how fast time goes. So, any future plans? Because now I'm excited. Like, I want to see what else is in store for you.
So I am actually working with 11 amazing women. We
Yes.
have the She Heals Project.
Yes.
And these ladies, it's going to be an amazing project. We're talking about everything. We're talking about some deep stuff that we're healing from. And that should be out by September. So I
Okay.
cannot wait to bring them here.
Yes, I would
bring them
love for
back.
you guys to have a panel.
We have a panel in August at the Mott Haven Bar. So that's going to be Let's Talk, which is going to be a roundtable discussion.
Oh,
so
I
we're
like
excited
that.
about
Yes,
that. And I
yes.
definitely hope that you can come to that.
I do. I want to.
And it's, my biggest thing with all of this has been empowering women, right? We need to empower each other. We need to empower our moms. We need to empower the girls coming behind us that are watching us. We really need to stick together because we're a sisterhood, right?
How about if the ones are still blinded? How we get around that?
You have a lot of those. And sometimes I say release them with love.
Okay.
Release them with love. No
That
drama,
makes
no
sense.
nothing. Release them with love, honey. That's all you can do. There's no
Nice.
time to go back and forth. I am 46 years old. I don't have time to go back and forth with anybody.
it.
I'm in a much better space.
All right.
I'm in a much better space, thankfully.
What was your favorite thing about writing?
Releasing.
Okay.
And actually, you know, when I get people that DM me and say thank you, thank you for I went through that, somebody gets me. That is my biggest reward. If I can help one person, I've done my job.
Yeah, it just takes one. All right. What's your favorite thing about summer? What's your favorite thing about
Oh my God, the
love?
ocean.
Really?
The ocean. I
What's
need to
your
get to a
sign?
beach. I am a Taurus.
Oh, okay.
Yes, I need the ocean. That is my peaceful place. That's where I go
Okay.
to recharge my battery.
Because that's what we need to do.
Yes,
is
we need to do that
recharge.
a lot, especially when you're in parenting. I'm going into a stage of teen, and I'm bracing myself. Woo! I'm leaving it in God's hands, but I'm bracing myself. You know, they always say it's a tough stage, and you're scared. And
It is.
So we're nervous, but she's a good girl.
But if you raise
know?
a good child with morals, you know,
I think it's my own fears.
Of course.
Honestly, I think it's my own fears that I'm projecting onto her, and I got to check that.
You better
I
get
have
in
to
line
check.
with
I
that.
better get in line with that. I have to
Because
check
you,
that.
this is why you wrote the book, so you could continue and let all that out and, you know, raise a beautiful child.
Absolutely empower her.
Yeah, definitely.
This is
Yeah, I'm dying for you to come back. Bring your females. Let's talk it out. We do a
Yes.
powwow. We could do a round table if you like.
that would be great.
Let our viewers know where they can find you, where they can find the book.
Yeah, so you can find parentingfrombrokenpieces.org. I'm also on Instagram on the Parenting from Broken Pieces. And I'm also on Facebook under She Heals.
Yes.
So yes, and the book can be found also at Amazon and Barnes & Nobles.
And clothing you're still doing?
So I'm still doing the boutique for a little bit. I'm changing some plans with that. I am selling the business. You know, I'm really trying to focus on this foundation, the She Heals Foundation.
Okay.
So, yeah.
All right. I wish you the best
Thank
of luck.
you. Thank you for having me.
Of
This was
course.
great.
I want to
You
bring
have
us.
no nervous.
You were so. I
Thank
told
you.
you, turn into excitement. We'll be
Thank you.
fine. And
This
you
was
were,
awesome.
Yes, you were very transparent, very vulnerable, and I love you for that. So thank you.
Thank
Guys,
you.
we'll be right back. We'll take a quick break, and I have such a magnificent male coming on that I've been dying to speak to. Stay tuned right here on the DS. And so thank you, Isabel, for
you.
being here. Get the book, Parenting from Broken Pieces. Don't be afraid to be broken. Just get it together. You know what I mean? We'll be right back. The Essence Show. Beautiful, Mama.
Yay, thank you.
Yes.
Thank you.
Peace and blessings, King and Queens, the King Amadeus, multi-platinum bad boy hitman producer, Trey Songz, music director, tour drummer. I'm here with the Queen, the one and only, The Essence Show. If you're not in line, you better get in line. You heard me? King Amadeus, platinum producer.
What's going on, peoples? My name is Victor Almanzar, your favorite actor from Power, Empire, 1155. Yo, y'all need to get in line. The Essence Show.
Hi, I'm Raquel Sharper. I'm here at GetInLine, the D Essence Show, with all the fabulousness. Write down, boogie down.
Hi, I'm Walter Tucker. I am the founder of Live the Biz, which is America's leading music education organization for music executives and artists. I am here on the Essence Show, so make sure y'all get in line.
What's going on? I'm your mother's uncle. Hopefully you get back from the laundromat. I'm over here at The Essence Show. Hashtag get online. Tattoo on the back of your aunt's neck. I'm Detroit once again for all you little kids who didn't finish school.
Yo, this is Chris Rivers dragging us up straight from the Bronx, New York. You know we at the Essence Show, so all y'all better get in line.
Hey, what's up, everybody? This is Ron Morel. Calle Fuego, Carlos. And it's the Essence Show. Get in line.
Hello, I'm Damaris Oliveras, founder of Island Life Kitchen. You can find organic, clean, vegetarian, and vegan options for all of your needs. I create island food in a healthy way. Please follow me, islandlifekitchen.com.
Dímelo, mi gente. This is your girl, La Loca from Radio 1039, holding down middays from 10 to 3. I'm on the Essence Show. Hashtag get along me.
Hey everybody, it's your girl Sue Fearless, and I'm here on the D Essence Show. We had a great show today, and she just wanted to make sure that I let you guys know to get in line.
Yo, what up? It's that kid, Captain Rivera, a.k.a. Beat Boy and Fly Tito. And I'm here with Miss D Essence, and she told me to tell you to get in line.
Hey, boy, Mike Massive, and you are now rocking with The Essence. Don't skip the line, get in line. Y'all already
This
know.
is Candela, the voice of Latin America, and we chilling on the D Essence Show. You know what's good. You have to definitely get in line. Que bonita bandera, que bonita.
This is the young executive Carl Michelle.
And I go by the name of Schneiding the Magnet Cherry.
And your boy Money Marv. We are the producers of the Youth Empowerment Show. Get in line.
Nos fuimos. Scuddy, Sound Carter, Soundboy Cartagena, the hip hop Hibaro, here at the Essence Show. Get in line. Nos
Peace,
fuimos.
it's Grandmaster Cash. You on the The Essence Show. Stay in line, baby.
Yo, this is Scholar Rock Jr. kicking in here on the D Essence Show on BronxNet from the Bronx. So I'm setting that Bronx tone. You know the vibes, man.
He needs to be my hype man.
He needs to be my hype man.
Get in line.
That's right. Yeah, guess who's here?
Hi, I'm A.R. Garcia, writer, actor, director, producer. Get in line.
What's going on, y'all? It's your boy June Archer here at The Essence Show. Listen, I need you to get in line. When I say get in line, I need you to get your mind right, get your heart right, get your community right, and make sure that you're making an impact for those around you and those globally when you have the opportunity to touch them. So listen, here at The Essence Show, she says get in line, so I'm supporting that. This is June Archer, get in line.
Welcome, and we're back. Welcome to the Essence Show. We just finished with one of my first guests who gave a very empowering beginning of my show. Almost brought me to tears, and maybe this one will bring me to tears too, because reading his book brought me to tears a few times. I have the author of The Sun Will Rise in December, and we will be talking. He's also a photographer. He has a podcast out. He's Latino, Puerto Rican, I believe, right?
That's right, Boricua.
Oh, I love it. And it's his first time on the Essence Show. Not his first time here, but that's all good because we're breaking his cherry up here in the Essence Show. And I'm so happy that he's finally here. We've been talking to him and just kind of connecting during the summer, well, the first May into June. I received his book in the mail, and it took me maybe a couple of weeks to actually start reading it because I just have to be mentally prepared. And I started reading it, and I found myself stopping like midpoint. And then I was on vacation in May in Florida, enjoying some sun that I love so much. And I decided to finish it because I had another book that was waiting for my arrival to start reading. And I actually enjoyed it. I connected to it. And I reached out to him a few times, and we'll talk about that. But I finished it, and I felt accomplished, and I said, now I can move on. Now I can have him on the show. Now we can talk. So I want to introduce Eddie Pabon.
Pabon, yes.
Pabon.
Yes.
Pabon?
Pabon.
Pabon.
Yes, with power.
We've been joking behind the scenes about the correct pronunciation of the name, all right?
Yes.
Guys, I suck with names. I think you guys already know this by watching this
You did
show.
a better job than my principal in junior high.
Why? What was it?
Edie Cabron, please come to the principal's office. Yeah, that was embarrassing.
I remember that moment. I believe you put it in the book.
Yes.
Yes. All right. So. All right. So he walks in the studio today, and I teared up. And I guess that's because of your story. And now you're here in person, and I respect you, one. Two, you were very courageous for writing this book. And I had to ask him about maybe 3 times, are you sure this is your story? Are you sure everything is 100% true in here? Because it was heavy.
Yeah.
It was heavy, and it takes place in the 80s. And you were very young.
Yes.
I believe I was reading things that were happening to you at the age of 5, 6, 7, 8.
Yes.
I'm like, we're not even a teen.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it went into teenage years, but the heavy stuff was happening that young that I was like, he hasn't even hit puberty yet, and this is happening.
Yeah, it was a lot.
It is a lot.
Yes.
So for the ones that don't have the book, please go out and read it if you're ready for something that is gonna, empower, but also be very honest. And you get to see the turnout of it today. And I'm proud that he's here with me.
I'm happy to be here. Thank you for having me.
We don't want to talk too much about the book, but give us just a little synopsis of what the book contains, I guess.
So with The Sun Will Rise in December, you will read the raw experiences of Eddie the boy, Eddie the teen, and ultimately Eddie the man, as you were mentioning.
Mm-hmm.
And it spares no detail in that it shares everything that I experienced from having a father who was a major kingpin of a huge drug ring in the early 90s to having a heroin addict mother and navigating through the witness protection program, foster care, and then ultimately becoming the oldest of a sibling family and raising 5 children throughout my 20s. So this is a raw account of everything I experienced and more, to say the least, as you read.
Yeah, I found myself at one point mad at your mom.
A lot of people feel
no
that way.
disrespect.
Not
It
at
was
all.
just like, why we keep having kids when we're in these situations? Why you keep going back to this person? And it was a disease.
It was, and I felt that for many years myself.
Yeah.
As a teenager, for a lot of frustration, a lot of anger, a lot of confusion. Why?
Yeah.
Right? But ultimately, I think, she did the best that she could with what she had. May she rest in peace. Spoiler alert.
Yeah.
But you know, I can see now. I've watched I've read some similar books and watched some movies that are based in similar circumstances, and I'm so furious with the parents.
Yeah.
And it hit me recently that this would be a response to my parents. And you know, people are entitled to feel how they feel. I love my mother to death. She was the most beautiful soul I've ever met from the heart. And while there were a lot of issues that she could have handled much differently, she was probably the kindest, warmest person I've ever met in my life. So she taught me a lot about living from the heart and being who I am today.
I did feel that in the book, that she was very loving.
Very much so.
And very forgiving.
Yes.
And she was kind of your safe haven at the same time of being a danger zone.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't even know where to start, what to say, what to do with you right now. I just lost for words. But can you just tell me a little how this all worked out to where you are now?
Well, you know, there is a lot has happened throughout my upbringing and throughout my 20s. One of my main goals in life in general has been to work on myself daily, to improve my reality as best as I can, and still trying to make sense of the reality that is, right? I'm going to be 35 this month, July 20th.
Congratulations.
I'm a Cancer.
You are a Cancer.
And I'm still picking up the pieces, you know, from decisions that were made for me by adults who did not consult me, nor did they really have any concern for what I was thinking, feeling, and experiencing. But I'm grateful to have been exposed to people who have lived different lifestyles, you know, coming from the hood, coming from being poor, coming from everything out of the norm, if you will, everything that's in this book. Most people are destined for failure, or so they think, right? And one of the things that occurred to me at some point in my life was that I needed to stop being a victim, or I would just be a victim, right? And so in my adult years, it was my choice to either continue to live out the patterns that were set forth as an example to me, or to recreate the story. And I want to live a happy ending. You know, that was a really rough beginning. And I want my fairy tale. Yes. And it's like I said, I'm still picking up the pieces. You know, it's very tough to come from a background with little support, very large family in terms of numbers, but no one to be found when it comes to true love and support. You know, so I say that to say that everybody has the ability, the innate ability to love themselves, to recreate their story, and to find the best parts of each day. You have a choice every day to either count the stuff that happened or to rewrite your story and look for the blessings, count the blessings. There's so many blessings. The fact that we're here in this present moment is a present.
Yeah.
Right? It's a gift. There are people who didn't make it to see today.
Right.
And me and you are here right now. So we must celebrate that, right?
Agreed.
Everything else is noise.
Agreed.
Yeah.
So just not to give spoilers, but the book does, when we say heavy, it consists of drug abuse, physical abuse.
There's physical, sexual, emotional, mental. There's also homelessness. Yes, sexual, identifying who I am sexually and exploring everything from predators to, you know, my own sexual experiences as a bisexual teenager, learning who he is. But there's also domestic violence and sibling family issues and growing up in foster care. And there's so many.
All at once.
Yes. And so I had to write this story because, you know, listening to other people's experiences, and everybody has their story, not to take away from anyone else.
Yeah.
But when, you know, someone's writing a book or a movie about their domestic violence experience, and I'm like, that's just one bullet, baby, you know? So I get it, you know, I get other people, but I think also there are a lot of other children like me, a lot of other Eddies out there who never had a voice, who never had an opportunity to escape their reality, and unfortunately just living out the patterns that were set for them to live out. And I want to give them a voice. I want to wake people up. I want to inspire people. I want to let them know that your destiny is your own to create.
Yeah.
There's so much in life.
And throughout the book and throughout your teenage, you tried over and over and over and over and over that it got to the point that I was like, is he ever gonna give up? And you never, you thought about it and you were close to it, but you never did.
You know, every day you have a choice to wake up and try again. And to this day, I wake up every day and I'm exhausted, you know, sometimes. But I'm motivated more than anything because, like I said, life is so precious. Tomorrow's not promised to us. So I can't give up. I don't have time to give up. We don't know if we're here for the next 5 minutes, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so I really want to spend the time that I have utilizing it to motivate people, to inspire people, and to share story, get discussions going. Recently, I did a panel presentation in front of almost 100 judges, and it was beautiful to have an open dialogue, almost experiencing life go full circle from having been a foster kid in the courtroom, waiting to hear from a judge, you know, to actually going face to face with family court judges and saying, this is what I experienced. You know, I'm still picking up these pieces because of decisions people like you made. And for them to say, we're acknowledging this, we're working on it, and we hear you, and we're sorry that you went through that. These are the things that are going on now, and the discussions that are going on now to recreate the system, to make it a better place for other children who are still suffering from this.
Are you thinking about educating?
That's what I'm doing now.
Because that's what you started getting into.
Well, I
working with the youth, right?
I definitely, I'm into connecting with humans at this point. I think, you know, we all have stories to share and a wealth of knowledge to give one another. And right now I'm in the business of connecting with the community and engaging people. I've spoken to folks at homeless shelters. I've spoken to judges. Recently I did a graduation speech, and I'm scheduled for a couple more.
Nice.
But
you're hanging with some nice politicians in the Bronx community. You're getting your network up, which is great.
Yeah, you know, meeting new people is essential to creating new realities, experiencing the blessings that are waiting for you out there. If you're sitting at home dreaming, you're just dreaming, you know. But if you're out there chasing the dream, then your dream is in motion. And China wasn't built in a day, you know.
Right.
Everything takes time, and yes, I've been blessed to mingle with some really great change makers. Yep. Shout out to the LGBT Task Force and Ruben Diaz and the individuals in the Bronx who are making a change. Ruben is a special soul. You know, while we've had minimal interaction, I do work with his director of affairs, and they're beautiful people. They're really looking to shout out to Dirk McCall. They're really looking to make change in the community, engage us, and create safe spaces, networking spaces, etc. So the Bronx is getting in line.
Yeah, they better, right?
Yes.
So how do we move forward after all of that? If someone went through all the stuff you went through, how do you get to adulthood and try to not forget, but just like move on without bringing that into a new relationship, or if you decide to have children, or because I feel like no matter whatever help you try to get, I feel like you're kind of like it's just embedded because it happened for so long, it happened so young, and it was just so much.
Yes,
to
an extent. I think awareness is key. You know, I think we all have, like I said, the innate abilities to help ourselves, to fix ourselves, to make decisions for ourselves. A lot of us are spending time seeking from others, and we may need that support. But if you can look in the mirror and seek the same support that you're looking for from other people, then there's so much more benefit in that, because nobody else knows you like you do, right? And I would say to those who are, I would even go as far as to say to those who are seeking some form of an answer, some form of change, or just feel stuck, know that everybody here is trying to figure this thing out called reality. Know that you're not alone, and know that you have to give yourself credit for having made it this far. The fact that you're looking to change and thinking about change is a step in the right direction. Beautiful. And your superpower is being you. Right? Nobody is the essence. Right? Nobody's getting in line on the The Essence show but you.
Right.
And so you bring that to the table, and that's beautiful. And so I challenge everyone to look into the mirror and find what it is that they bring to the table that the world needs, right? Okay. And it could be as simple as just sharing your story and being yourself. A lot of us are trying to fit the mold of someone else, or fit a title or some kind of structure socially that is perfect. It's never going to appeal to everyone. Right? You can't make everyone happy.
No.
I think I heard something about a rule of whenever you do anything, a project, you have 10% of people who are going to hate it, 10% who are going to love it, and 80% are going to be indifferent.
Look at that.
Right?
Right.
So don't seek validation from others. Seek validation from yourself. Know your strengths and know your weaknesses. right?
Be true
Work
with
on them.
yourself.
Absolutely. And I definitely recommend meditation. If you don't know how to meditate, if you're Latino like me and people laugh at you or your friends in the hood think that it's funny that you're even trying that thing called meditation, get past that, try it, and see the benefits of it. I have meditated a couple 100 hours to date, and I have to say, I love it. It is better than any alcohol, any
How long do
drug,
you do
any
it for?
experience that I've ever had in my life. I have been meditating for the last 10 years of my life. I have a few 100 hours under my belt. I use everything from Headspace to just meditating on my own to YouTube. You could YouTube, 20-minute meditation,
You can.
5-minute
Yes.
meditation.
Yes.
They're guided, right? There's Yoga Nidra, which is amazing. I swear by it. And the insight that you get from tuning into yourself, to being silent, being alone,
It's the best.
it's the best.
it's
You
no-
can't. The money can't buy that.
Yeah.
And there's a greater energy that you tap into, a higher self that is conscious, that is aware of your mission, and you will not be privy to the information, to the blessings, unless you do the work.
Got it.
Right?
Yeah, agreed.
Yes.
So will this book ever become a film
Ooh.
or a play?
So my hair stand when you say that. I'm excited. I have been approached by a couple people, and I am shopping my options at this
Okay.
point. It's a very big undertaking for some people, and some people are fearful. They have their concerns. They want to jump right in, and I'm more. This will happen when it's supposed to happen because
Exactly.
it's supposed to happen.
Okay.
And so I'm ready for whomever it's supposed to be.
But it has to be exactly, like everything in the book has to be in that production.
And this
all
is
right?
why I'm still shopping.
Okay.
Because I have been told by folks that this is either too much or there's 3 movies in this book, not one.
That's
Or,
true.
we need to narrow it down. Or I've even been told that this may scar some people and some people may be turned off and it may not be a box office hit. And to respond to that, I'd say, I'm sorry that my life was so tough for you. This is all reality. And this happens every day.
Yeah.
And it may not be in the capacity that it was to me, but in some cases worse.
Do you ever
right?
question it this day? Are you ever mad?
I get mad when I see raw, unfiltered parents who are yelling at their children in the streets,
Yeah.
or parents who may have an LGBT in the making child,
Yeah.
and I would never have that or I'll disown. That bothers me.
Okay.
Because kids seek love, support, and comfort, security from their parents. And if they don't have that from the 2 adults
Then
that they've
where?
been introed into this world with,
Yeah.
then how are they going to get by? How can we
Yeah.
expect them to be this strong?
You're
We have
already
so much
creating
expectations
something.
for kids. Yeah. Get this done, get good grades, get etc. But I'm going to be a crappy parent. You can't do that.
Yeah.
We
Yeah.
have to lead by example. We have to teach kids to be what we want them, what we would like for them to be, but teach them to chase what they want to be, right? We
Yeah.
can't impose. How many parents are thinking about the name or the gender before the child even comes? How about what the child's going to be like? How about how amazing of a parent you're going to try to be?
We get caught
That's
up in the wrong
important.
things.
Yeah.
I have a question with the book real quick.
Yes.
Whatever happened to the boyfriend?
Which one? Scandi?
The one that she was back and forth with for years. Your mom.
Oh, my stepfather.
Yeah.
He's currently, to my understanding, incarcerated. Old habits die hard, baby. And I wish him the best of luck. I am forgiving of everything that I was put through. I almost feel bad for the guy, he's a lost soul, and I really pray for the sake of my siblings and for his children, for himself, that he figures it out by miracle before his time here is up.
Wow. Last time you spoke with him?
Ooh, I think it was in the book when he came out of prison, and I had to sit down with him and let him know that I've been raising my siblings and he will not interfere.
Okay, I remember that.
Yes.
And your siblings, everybody's good with you?
They're
the
beautiful
book?
souls. I'm proud of them for doing the best that they can.
Yeah.
Shout out to my brothers and sisters. And I have beautiful nieces and nephews now. The generations are moving on.
Okay.
So I'm really, aside from trying to inspire others, a little side mission of mine is to inspire my brothers and sisters, to show them that where we come from is not where we're going.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, a lighter note.
Yes.
You got to read the book because there's much more, but I'm not going to say it, and it's not my business to say it. Pride Parade, how was it?
It was epic. It was awesome. It was such a pleasure to march next to such beautiful change makers.
Yes.
Again, shout out to Ruben Diaz, Dirk McCall on the Bronx Borough President's Office. It was beautiful.
It looked very powerful.
It was. I think the 50th year, you know, from the anniversary of Stonewall and it being World Pride, there was something like 9 million extra people at the parade.
Wow.
So it was just so much energy and so filling and beautiful.
I did get a couple of feedbacks, and some people were disturbed with all the nakedness that was going on.
Okay. Well,
Can you kind of explain to us what that's all about? Or is it being is it just being too much because they feel like they can? Like, what is all that about?
You know what? I think pride is just being proud. I think, you know, you can be straight and be at pride, you know, and that's the beauty of it. I don't think that I'm really in the business of worrying about what other people do. And I think that if we was in a world full of people who worried about themselves and not others, we wouldn't have so much things to explore and explain, right?
Yeah, that's all I kept hearing that day. Like, why is everybody naked in New York? And I'm just like, I don't know.
We were born naked, baby. That's that's our nature.
Okay.
You know, to each his own. I personally wouldn't be half naked in the street.
And you weren't.
But I'm not here to judge those who choose to do that.
Okay.
You know, and I
Okay.
think one of the big important messages of pride is to be accepting of everyone, all shapes, sizes, preferences, etc. If you feel strong enough and confident enough to strut down the street half naked, baby, then you own it, and that is your runway. Go for it.
I get it.
Right? Get in line.
Yes, definitely.
Get some clothes on too, but get in line.
So behind the scenes, we were talking about your your partner, right?
Shout out to Jesse.
Yes,
He's awesome.
You seem very happy with him.
Yes.
I see him in a lot of pictures, and I get to meet him backstage. He seems very nice.
He's a beautiful, supportive soul who actually did the cover of the book.
Yes.
He's a great artist. So, yes, he was a great support in making this happen for me and has been so supportive in making this a dream reality for me. Leaving a job that I had and surviving and doing this full time, it takes courage to be able to do that.
Well, we know you got that.
Well, that's not even my point. My point is it also takes great support, right? And that's where he comes in. To have someone to say, you know, no matter how it goes, I believe in you, go for it, and I have your back, has been truly a fire under me, having me going. So thank you, Jesse. I love you very much.
Yes.
And I appreciate the support.
So talk to me about dating, because we got in a little conversation.
Yeah.
I got a little frustrated, as I always do. How is love in your community? How is dating in your community? Because in our community, it sucks.
Okay, well, I've heard the same thing about my community. So
like you said, it's universal.
It's universal. You know, I think we live in a society that's full of instant gratification. People have access to applications and websites, etc. And I mean, worst case scenario, if you can't find someone, you just get on an app and do your own thing, right?
Yeah.
But I think instant gratification is one of the issues, and I think I wouldn't worry too much about trying to find someone. Interesting thing about energy in the universe, when you're asking for things, right? The universe gives you exactly what you're asking for. So if you're sitting around saying, relationships suck, I'm never gonna find the one, and people are not serious, then the universe is going, got you.
Okay.
Here's all those people that suck. Here's the relationship that sucks. Here's the guy that sucks, right?
Yeah.
The moment you let go and you say, I know that my one is coming and I'm preparing for that, right? Him, her, whoever they are. And I'm just so happy and confident in being me. And that's gonna attract them, right? That's when the universe goes, here, this is what you wanted.
So even if you don't really believe, I do. I still have hope, believe it or not. A lot of people I know have lost hope. A lot of people don't believe in effort or investing, not caring. You know, I speak to you today, I don't speak to you tomorrow, who cares? Like, everything's fast.
Yeah, morals are different now, right? And there's less human connection.
Yeah.
There's less of this and more of this, which takes away the connectivity.
But there's more of this too.
Yeah, there's a lot of that, and that's why we're so populated out here. But
it's crazy because it's like you don't want to connect, but you're connecting with someone intimately.
Right, and there's benefits to that in the instant gratification, but then in the long term, there's the depression aspect, because you leave that feeling empty. You leave that feeling like you wish you had more than that. And true intimacy comes from connecting with someone spiritually, mentally, emotionally, right?
Definitely.
And then physically.
Right.
That's when it all comes together to the
Right.
climax.
Right. All right. So you're telling me no
I'm
matter
telling
what,
you that somebody's
this
gonna
is
get
what
in
it
line
is.
for you, D. I'm telling you.
When?
When the time is right. Right now,
know.
you're making moves for yourself, right?
I
And you're
agree.
representing for Latinas everywhere. And there's
Thank
gonna be
you.
a strong man that's on your level, that's gonna meet you, and he's gonna give you everything you are ready to receive.
I wonder who he is and where he is. I love it.
Exactly.
I love it. So when you decide to put this in production, I want you to include pictures.
Okay.
Because your mom is beautiful.
Thank you.
I saw a picture of her, I think on Facebook, I think you did one.
Yeah, Instagram.
And I was like, oh my God, that's how she looked. She was so pretty. Like curly hair, I remember.
She's beautiful, long hair down to her.
Was it curly?
It was. It had its
Like a wave?
Latina, like yours.
Yeah. Very pretty.
Thank you.
So it was good to see the people that you're speaking of in the book and actually see them. Like I want to see the whole family.
Yeah,
at one point.
I remember you hit me up and you were like, "Is this real?" And I was like, "Yeah." And you're like, "Are you sure?" And I'm like, "All right, look. Here's article number 1. Here's article number 2. And by the way, here's article number 3."
Yeah, like there was a few times I had to stop and I felt guilty for not wanting to continue, but I had to put it down and say, I don't know if I'm in the mood today to read it.
Yeah.
And it wasn't because it was dissing you or bored. It was just the mode or the environment it brings you into that. You know, if you're a happy-go-lucky spirit today, I don't know if I want to be brought to sadness for a second. And you apologize for it, but it was very vulnerable. It was very transparent. I appreciate you, and I'm happy you're here with me. I'm happy that you're healthy.
Thank you.
I love you.
I love you too.
Best wishes.
Thank
Is there
you.
anything else you want to promote or talk about really in like 3 seconds, 3 minutes?
Just to say, you know, if you're on social media, follow me.
let them know.
Follow me on social media. If you're on Facebook, Eddie Pabon, just my name. The Sun Will Rise in December for Instagram, and Have Honor, Have Faith. I'm also a photographer. You can check out my work at lalechedelalte.com.
I be seeing some good-looking men up there, but I'm like, I don't think he's gonna like
That's
me.
the La Leche del Alte Men series. We highlight men who exude confidence, you know, masculinity, and
Do they like women? Some of them?
actually, about 99% of my models are straight. Yes.
Oh, then we need to talk. Because I think I
Okay.
saw one that I was just like, who's he?
All right.
Awesome. I love it, Eddie. Thank you so much
Thank
for
you
being
so
here
much
with
for
me.
having me, baby.
Yes, anytime. You have tuned into the D'Essence Show right here every Wednesday at 9 p.m. Hope everybody enjoyed it. Please support my Latino artists, authors, talent. We need the love.
Yes,
We're
give
here
this-
to love back.
Yes, give the support that you want to receive when you're working on something. Check out this book at eddiepabon.com or Amazon as well.
And on that note, you better get in line. Have a good night.
Good night, baby.
Te quiero. Beautiful.
Thank
Get in line for the dopest girl show. The essence will be holding us down. Get in line. Women running the world. Wednesday 6:30. Let's have a good time. Get in line. Free your mind. Let the music help you celebrate life. Get in line. Keep it real. Get empowered and inspired to feel. Get in line. Love the essence madly. Bright sky. Get in line for the dopest girl show. The essence will be holding us down. Get in line. Women running the world. Wednesday 6:30. Let's have a good time. Get in line. Free your mind. Let the music help you celebrate life. Get in line. Keep it real. Get empowered and inspired to feel. Get in line. Love the essence madly.
Hey, what's up, y'all? It's Eddie Pabon here on the D'Essence Show. Get in line, baby.
Hi, I'm here at the D'Essence Show. I am Isabel, the author of Currently from Broken Pieces. Get in line.
All right, Monroe, you ready? Monroe. Hey.